What you gonna do? What's up? What's up? What's going on? You see Mickey over there next door? You see Mickey Mouse? There go Robert. He outside. He in the garage. You see the garage open? He looking at my neighbor. You see the garage door open? They about to go for a walk. It look like. You don't see nobody? You see them? You don't see your people across the street? He nosy. He nosier than a human sometimes. He nosier than a human. Oh, where my Bible at? Did nobody tell you I'll get my seat either? No one told you to go. Oh, good dog. You didn't go get in my seat this time. Why are you watching me? Good morning, Max. Where my glasses at? You know we blind. We gonna get, I find my glasses now. Max, watch the teeth. Watch the camera, people. We gotta find the glasses. Bifocals. Who did it? We got the bifocals on now. We got to get the bifocals so we can see and read. You see him over here? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Ooh, got some light popping now. We can read. You gonna come read? You know how to read, right? Come on. You don't want to read today? All right, I'll read for you, Max. Luke 7:1 through 17. That's not a big chapter. 7:1 to 17. Faith on the Roman officer. When Jesus had finished saying all this, he went back to Capernaum. Now, the highly valued slave of a Roman officer was sick and near death. When the officer heard about Jesus, he sent some respected Jewish leaders to ask him, come and heal his slave. So they earnestly begged Jesus to come with them and help the man. If anyone deserves your help, it is he, they said, for he loves the Jews and even built a synagogue for us. So Jesus went with him, but before they arrived at the house, the officer sent some friends to say, Lord, don't trouble yourself by coming to my home, for I am not worthy of such an honor. I am not even worthy to come and meet you. Just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed. I know because I am under authority of my superior officers, and I have the authority over my soldiers. I only need to say, go, and they go. Or come, and they come. And if I say to my slave, don't do this or don't do that, they do it. Then Jesus heard this. He was amazed. Turning to the crowd, he said, I'll tell you, I haven't seen faith like this in all the land of Israel. And when the officer's friends returned to his house, they found the slave completely healed. Jesus raises a widow's son. Soon afterward, Jesus went with his disciples to the village of Nain, with a great crowd following him. A funeral procession was coming out as he approached the village gate. The boy who had died was the only son of a widow, and many mourners from the village were there with her. When the Lord saw her, his heart overflowed with compassion. Don't cry, he said. Then he walked over to the coffin and touched it, and the bearer stopped. Young man, he said, get up. The dead boy sat up and began to talk to those around him, and Jesus gave him back to his mother. Great fear swept the crowd, and they praised God, saying, a mighty prophet has been risen among us, and we have seen the hand of God work today. The report of what Jesus has done that day spread all over Judea and even across its borders. Luke chapter 7, 1 through 17. Now, Genesis 8 through 10. Genesis 8 through 10. The flood recedes. But God remembered all the animals in the boat. But God remembered Noah and all the animals in the boat. He set a wind to blow across the waters, and the floods began to disappear. The underground water source ceased their gushing, and the torrential rain stopped. So the flood gradually began to recede. After 150 days exactly, five months from the time the flood began, the boat came to rest on the mountain of Ararat. 2.5 months later, as the waters continued to go down, other mountain peaks began to appear. After another 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the boat and released a raven that flew back and forth until the earth was dry. Then he sent out a dove to see if it could find dry land. But the dove found no place to land because water was still too high, so it returned to the boat. And Noah held out his hand and drew the dove back inside. 7 days later, Noah released the dove again. This time, toward evening, the bird returned to him with a fresh olive leaf in his beak. Noah now knew that the water was almost gone. A week later, he released the dove again, and this time it did not come back. Finally, when Noah was 601 years old, 10.5 months after the flood began, Noah lifted back the cover to look. The water was drying up. 2 more months went by, and at last the earth was dry. Then God said to Noah, "Leave the boat, all of you. Release the animals and the birds so they can breed and reproduce in great numbers." So Noah, his wife, and his sons and their wives left the boat. And all kind of animals and birds came out pair by pair. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and sacrificed on it the animals and birds that had been approved for that purpose. And the Lord was pleased with the sacrifice and said to himself, "I will never again curse the earth, destroying all living things, even though people's thoughts and actions are bent toward evil from childhood. As long as the earth remains, there will be springtime and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, day and night." Genesis 9. God's covenant with Noah. God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, "Multiply and fill the earth. All the wild animals, large and small, and the birds and fish will be afraid of you. I have placed them in your power. I have given them to you for food, just as I have given you grain and vegetables. But you must never eat animals that still have their lifeblood in them, and murder is forbidden. Animals that kill people must die. Any person who murders must be killed. Yes, you must execute anyone who murders another person, for to kill a person is to kill a living being made in God's image. Now you must have many children and repopulate the earth. Yes, multiply and fill the earth." Max. You didn't hear me calling you? Stop it. Then God told Noah and his sons, "I am making a covenant with you and your descendants and the animals you brought with you, all these birds and livestock and wild animals. I solemnly promise never to send another flood to kill any living creature and destroy the earth." And God said, "I am giving you a sign as evidence of my eternal covenant with you and all living creatures. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is a sign of my permanent promise to you and all the earth. When I send clouds over the earth, the rainbow will be seen in the clouds, and I will remember my covenant with you and with everything that lives. Never again will there be a flood that destroys all life. When I see the rainbow in the clouds, I will remember the eternal covenant between God and every living creature on earth. Then God said to Noah, "Yes, this is the sign of my covenant with all the creatures of the earth." Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah, survived the flood with their fathers. Ham is the ancestor of the Canaanites. From these three sons of Noah came all the people now scattered across the earth. After the flood, Noah became a farmer and planted a vineyard. One day, he became drunk on some wine he had made and lay naked in his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw that his father was naked and went outside and told his brothers, Shem and Japheth. He told his brothers, Shem and Japheth, to a robe and held it over their shoulders and walked backwards in the tent and covered their father's naked body. As they did this, they looked the other way so they wouldn't see him naked. When Noah woke up from his drunken stupor, he learned what Ham, his youngest son, had done. Then he cursed the descendants of Canaan, the son of Ham. A curse on Canaanites. May they be the lowest servants to the descendants of Shem and Japheth. Then Noah said, May Shem be blessed by the Lord my God, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge the territory of Japheth, and may he share the prosperity of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. Noah lived another 350 years after the flood. He was 950 years old when he died. The history of the families of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah. Many children were born to them after the flood. Descendants of Japheth. Descendants of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madiah, Javad, Tubal, Meshish, and Tiras. The descendants of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, Togarmah. The descendants of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodanium. Their descendants became the seafaring people of the various lands, each tribe with its own language. The descendants of Ham. The descendants of Ham were Cush, Miraz, Put, and Canaan. The descendants of Cush were Seba, Halabah, Sabbath, Rama, and Sepetah. The descendants of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. One of Cush's descendants was Nimrod, who became a heroic warrior. He was a mighty hunter in the Lord's sight. His name became proverbial, and people would speak of someone as being like Nimrod, a mighty hunter in the Lord's sight. He built the foundation for his empire in the land of Babylon, with the cities of Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Canaan. From there, he extended his region to Assyria, where he built Neviv, Rehoboth, Kala, and Resen, the main city of the empire between Nevi and Kala. Mizraim was the ancestors of the Lutites, Ammonites, Lehabites, Nephtotites, Patharushites, Kalushites, and Calapharites, from where the Philistines came from. Canaan was the oldest son of Sidon, the ancestors of the Sidonians. Canaan was also the ancestor of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Geresherites, Hivites, Archites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. Eventually, the territory of Canaan spread from Sidon to Gerar, near Gaza, to Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah, and Zebulun, near Lahash. These were the descendants of Ham, identified according to their tribes, language, and territories and nations. The descendants of Shem, sons were also born to Shem, the older brother of Japheth. Shem was the ancestors of all the descendants of Eber. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arsaplah, Lud, and Aram. The descendants of Aram was Uz, Hol, Gether, and Mosh. Asaphat was the father of Shelah, and Shelah was the father of Eber. Eber had 2 sons. The first was named Peleg, division. During his lifetime, the people in the world were divided into different language groups and dispersed. His brother was Jotam. Jotam was the ancestor of Alamadad. Sheleph, Hazar Maveteth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzel, Diklah, Obal, Abilemah, Sheba, Ophir, Ahaliava, and Jobab. The descendants of Jotam lived in the area extended from Mesha towards the eastern hills of Sephar. These were the descendants of Shem, identified according to their tribes, languages, and territories and nations. These are the families that came from Noah's sons, listed by nations according to their line of descent. The earth was populated with the people of these nations after the flood. And that was Genesis 8 through 10. Now finishing up with Psalms. Good morning, Psalms 4. Pretty short Psalms 4 is pretty short. Go to Popo. Popo went. Hey, Popo. Answer me when I call. O God, who declares me innocent, take away my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long will you people ruin my reputation? How long will you make groundless accusations? How long will you pursue lies? You can be sure of this. The Lord has set apart the godly for himself. The Lord will answer when I call to him. Don't sin by letting anger gain control over you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. Offer proper sacrifice and trust in the Lord. Many people say, who will show us better times? Let the smile on your face shine on us, Lord. You have given me greater joy than those who have abundant harvests of grain and wine. I will lie down in peace and sleep for you alone, O Lord. Will you keep me safe? Amen. That is today's reading for the day. And we read Luke chapter 7, 1 through 17, Genesis 8 through 10, and Psalms 4 to get through the Bible for the day. Amen. Be blessed.